Hello and welcome to Forever Motorsports for the review of the Singapore Grand Prix Free Practice 1. And what a session that was there, Mark. Yeah, very interesting to talk you through our top 10. Charles Leclerc tops the timing boards in Free Practice 1 in Singapore with Carlos Sainz in P2, Verstappen P3, Norris P4, Hamilton P5, George Russell in 6th, 7th is Perez, Alonso in 8th, Tsunoda in 9th, and Ocon finishing up the top 10 there.
Yes, and then carrying on, 11th is Stroll, 12th Gasly, 13th Albon, 14th Bottas, 15th Magnussen, 16th Lawson, 17th Hulkenberg, 18th Zhou, 19th Piastri, and 20th Logan Sargent. So that was the total drivers and all their positions for FP1. Of course, it is just a practice session, nothing to take too hard too much, but great to see that everybody's running very close to each other. A little bit of concern for Oscar Piastri's car there. Obviously, wasn't able to get as quick as he should have been compared to his teammate who's up in 4th. The Williams aren't as quick as I was hoping they'd be. The AlphaTauris also, with their massive upgrade package, don't seem to be that quick compared to what we might have been hoping from them. But good to see the Ferraris up in 1st and 2nd, and good to see the Mercedes also quite consistent in 5th and 6th.
Yes, it is great to see those Mercedes getting a little bit more consistency here, as you say, in 5th and 6th. But I think the biggest takeaway is the fact that those Ferraris are looking quite competitive here today, which is good.
Yeah, and it's exactly that. And I think we're going to hopefully see that continue throughout the weekend. Maybe Ferrari found a little bit of form in Singapore. Maybe this track suits their car a little bit more. But of course, don't ever count out Max Verstappen and Red Bull. I'm sure we'll see them come back very strong. Can any of them stop Max Verstappen winning an 11th in a row? Reece, from what you've seen in this first practice, would you say anybody could?
Well, I think the Ferraris are looking quite competitive. I think they could possibly take it to the Red Bulls. I certainly hope so. We'll have to wait and see, though.
Okay, so just looking at the rest of this list here, Hamilton in 5th, beating his teammate George Russell in 6th. I mean, are we surprised by this, or is this to be expected?
Sorry, who was that, Mark?
Hamilton beating out his teammate Russell.
Well, I think that's to be expected. I think that George Russell hasn't had the upper hand over his teammate this year. I think it certainly has been Lewis Hamilton's car this year. It's been supporting him. It's been suiting him a lot better than George Russell, that's for sure.
Yeah, and just looking at the rest of the grid, of course, the practice 1 session was a little bit interrupted by local resident Godzilla, who made his way out to the track a couple of times during the session, causing a few yellow flags. Carlos Sainz making note of the second time it made its way out to the track. A few years ago, Max Verstappen also made note of the water monitor, who made his way onto the track as well. So clearly, as Reece tried to say, maybe perhaps it's his son living on the legend here in Singapore. So great to have a little visitor there. We've had groundhogs in other places. We have cats in some tracks. And here in Singapore, we've got water monitors, aptly named. And we're naming him on Forever Motorsports, at least, Godzilla.
Godzilla.
So hopefully Godzilla won't get hit by any cars in practice too. But I think it's certainly going to have to be something that might get in the way of qualifying maybe even tomorrow. And that could cause a little bit of an issue for some of the drivers on their fast lap attempts.
Yes, hopefully we don't get those interruptions again. It's still possible throughout the rest of this weekend, but let's hope that those Godzillas don't interrupt running yet again this Grand Prix weekend. Yeah, very interesting Free Practice 1 session. Do be sure to let us know who you're supporting for the rest of this weekend down in the comments section. Thank you very much, though, Mark, for joining me in the session. We will join you again a little bit later for the FP2 session. We're going to go live now with our build-up package. Thank you very much for joining us, though, here on Forever Motorsports. I've been Reece, joined with Mark. Cheers.